Hey there, it's Laura here from makingcardsisdone.com. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to receive notifications whenever I upload a new video. In today's video, I'll be creating another pop-up card featuring lawn fawn dies, and I'll also be featuring some brand new and adorable stamps from Hello Sweetums. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm starting out with a piece of white Neenah cardstock. This is a 110 pound heavy version. And I am picking out my favorite stamps from the Honey Bunnies stamp set from Hello Sweetums. I positioned all of these using my MISTI tool, and then I am inking them up, using Memento Tuxedo black ink. And the reason why I'm using my MISTI is because this makes it really easy to stamp all of these images at once. I'm coloring my images using Copic sketch markers. For the carrots, I'm using YR18, YR16, and YR21. Next, I'm using YG17 and YG23. And then for the bunnies, I'm using E55, E53, and E51. So I'm always going from the darkest color to the mid-tone, and then finally I go in with the lightest color to add a little bit of highlight. For that little tail, I am using the N0 marker to add a little bit of shading, and then I'm blending that out with my colorless blender. For the yellow Easter eggs, I'm using Y19, Y18, and Y13. And then I am coloring that small Easter egg over there with the Y13 marker, and then I'm going in with Y19 to add some polka dots. While I was coloring my battery of my camera died, so I didn't even notice. So I colored that pink Easter egg over there, and I used RV14, RV13, and RV11 to do that. And then for the polka dots of the turquoise egg, I used Y19. So just like I did with the yellow Easter egg, I'm going to add some polka dots to that tiny Easter egg over there. So I colored the egg using BG11, and then I went back in with BG13 to add some polka dots. For these stripes, I'm using YR18, YR16, and YR21. Then for the yellow stripes, I'm using Y19, Y18, and Y13. And then finally, I went in with YG23 to add a really tiny little bit of green. For the purple Easter egg, I used V01 and then V15 to color the polka dots. Today I'm using the coordinating dies of the Honey Bunnies stamp set from Hello Sweetums to cut these images out. And then it's time to start creating the pop-up cards. First, I die cut 2 main box panels, and then I am using the little insert die to create the panels that go inside the box. I die cut these panels 3 times. And then I'm going to go back to those panels to add some color to these using the Twisted Citron Distress Oxide ink pads. As you can see, I am using some washi tape to hold down that little panel while I apply the color. I just love using Distress Oxide inks to create my own colored cardstock. Of course, you can also just use regular cardstock, but I really enjoy coloring it myself using Distress Oxide inks. Today, I am taking my pop-up cards one step further by focusing on the panels that go inside the box. So once I die cut those panels, I use the Grassy border die from Lawn Fawn to create Grassy borders. Then after doing that, I am folding both flaps, and then I am going to adhere my colored images to the panels using Tonic Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive. I think it's easier to adhere your images on your panels before you're going to be adhering the panels inside of the box. The last time, or the first time actually, I created a pop-up card, I adhered my images at the very end. So I adhered them while the panels were already inside of the box. And you can totally do that, but I think that this way it's just a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going back to my two main panels. I am just scoring, or I am folding, I mean, my panels along the score lines, and then I am using some adhesive tape to add adhesive to both tabs. Going to form my box by adhering the tab of one panel to the other, and then it's time to adhere the panels inside of the box. I'm applying more of that adhesive tape from Tonic to my little panels, so to those flaps, and then I'm going to remove the backer sheet of the left side of my tab. I'm going to adhere this tab inside of my box while it's still flat. So I'm just lining that up with that scored line over there, and this makes it really easy to line it up perfectly straight. And then I did the same for those two other flaps, and I made sure that the distance between each tab was equally wide. Alright, so now that I adhered the tabs, it's time to remove the other backing sheets, and then I'm going to fold over the box, and this will make sure that your box is completely flat and that it's very easy to mail your box out. So I'm just going to fold that over there very carefully, making sure everything is lined up straight. And I hope that I'm explaining everything clearly, that you understand everything, because I actually prefer to create my pop-up cards this way. It's a little bit easier than my previous video, because this way to adhere the tabs inside of the box is just so much easier than adhering them while you already folded and adhered your box. Alright, so I removed the final piece of that backer sheet over there, and then I just closed my box completely. Next, it's time to create some of those insides for my pop-up card box. I'm using some pattern paper from Avery Elle. This is from the Sorbet collection 6x6 paper pad, and I did some partial die cutting to die cut those panels. I lined up my pattern paper and my die with the edge of my cutting plate, and this makes it just so much easier to die cut these panels while not wasting any pattern paper. So I used my scissors to cut that panel, and then I used my Tonic guillotine to trim it down a little bit. And then finally I'm using more of those dies to decorate the panels of the pop-up box cards. This is some pattern paper from the Everyday Collection paper pad from Avery Elle, and it seems like they discontinued these paper pads because I just can't find them anywhere. And that's a real shame, because I just love these patterns so much, and I've used them quite a lot before, and I'm almost running out, so I hope that I'll find something similar. I adhered all of these panels to my card using my Scotch ATG, and then I am also adhering some pattern paper panels to the outside of the pop-up box cards. So there you go. I die cut one extra panel out of some pattern paper, and then I'm going to stamp a sentiment from the Honey Bunny stamp set from Hello Sweetums to that paper over there using Memento Tuxedo black ink. I use my MISTI tool since that makes it very easy to line up these stamps nice and straight. Okay, so finally I'm adhering that panel to the green pattern paper, and then I am done. So there you go, that finishes up this pop-up box card. As you can see, you can close that perfectly. It's very easy to mail out, and it will definitely bring a smile to the recipient's face. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.